Newsshooter coverage of Cine Gear 2025 is sponsored by B&H Build Expo, June 17th and 18th at the Javits Center, New York, and Atlas Lensco.
Hi, it's Matt here for Newsshooter.com at Cine Gear 2025. I'm with Dominic from V35. Now, for people who may not be familiar with your company and what you do, just give us a brief rundown.
Well, first, pardon my voice, been at a lot of events already, but we are a custom lens company, more or less. Easiest pitch, it's the opposite of rehousing. Instead of taking an old vintage optic and creating a modern mechanic for it to work on set, we're starting with new modern optics that already have a really great mechanical housing, and then going in with our team, who's all former Panavision engineers, and optically redesigning them to kind of take some of the best, most interesting characteristics of vintage lenses, but without all the negatives because we start as a modern lens. So chromatic aberration is mostly gone on these, no breathing, you don't have to worry about color shift or color continuity. So it's kind of the best parts of vintage without kind of all the sacrifices you make to shoot on vintage.
And I guess retuning has become extremely popular over the last sort of few years. What sort of lenses are you now doing, or what's been popular?
So we started kind of with the Cines for our first set that we did, and we sold a lot of sets of those worldwide. We kind of snowballed that into doing just so many new sets. You know, every lens kind of offers a different starting point for optical looks. So the best way to do that is just start with more lenses. So CP3s, CNEs, the Schneider Xenons, oftentimes just lenses people forget about because they're clean and sterile. Sigma Cines, and then, you know, Nisi Athenas, Dizio Arl, you name it. If it's out and it's kind of in that cheaper-ish price point for either new or used, that's kind of a great starting point for us.
I guess the great thing, about doing it this way is that, you're not having to rely on people having to source their own lenses and then bring them in. You can do that, but obviously you are selling the sets as a whole set.
Yeah, so that's kind of the nice thing we've kind of crafted for everybody is being dealers for all these brands. You can buy them straight new, delivered to your door. Turnaround's like 4 weeks, so very short compared to a rehousing. Or if you have a set that you're just bored of and don't know what to do with it, you want to spice it up, send them in. We can retune them as long as we have a recipe for it already. Otherwise, we kind of go into our custom work of trying to build a new recipe for that set. So,
And you were mentioning to me before that you're thinking now about doing sort of like custom color things for not only cameras, but say Teradek units, tripods, a whole bunch of sort of stuff. How did that come about?
So being a rental house owner myself, we're constantly talking with other shops, and there's so much theft that happens and scams. So we wanted to just try to make all of these things a little more unique. So from a theft standpoint, it's a little harder to steal and repost or try to sell something when companies' logos are engraved. So we wanted to do fun stuff because every DP might choose several lenses for several different projects, but a lot of them own their one camera. So we wanted to open that up and start getting parts for cameras, to do custom colors, engraving, really make your camera one-off, but not only that, tripods, C-stands, Teradek chassis, small HD monitor chassis, whatever we can get parts for, we want to be able to like modify that, make it custom colors. So, when your stuff goes out on set, people want to post pictures and that's how people are getting recognized and kind of standing out from everyone else. So we kind of changed our marketing a little bit to be a little more stand out on set. We want this stuff to really bring attention to, the owner and help get them work.
And so if people want to get in touch with you, what's the easiest way?
V35Project.com is probably the best way to get a hold of us. But there you can see all the lenses we're doing, before and afters, comparisons. But also the one really cool thing to mention is we also do custom work. So we're now doing one-off sets and tunings for TV shows. So that's kind of our next up-and-coming thing. Just Panavision did it for a long time, and that's kind of what we can offer now. So doing the best we can to give everybody a really unique and fun look for their projects.